Be hooked on now. Get him in here. Oh, I guess we didn't take the tie strap for no reason. We're able to get another wire hooked onto this little centerpiece here. But again, we gotta make sure it's enough slack to ride, because when these things turn, we want to make sure it's gonna be no problem there. So let me make sure of that. Put them. So we got everything that meets up here to meet up here, including this guy right here. We'll have them meet up here like that. So when we turn it, see, the wheels turn, but these guys are stationary. So that's good. Okay, so what we'll do is next time we'll put a bigger tie strap and we'll mount all these guys here as one. So we'll tie strap the whole deal here. We'll tie strap this whole thing here. That also helps this harness stays put. So that's fine there. Too bad we can't take, or can we take these guys off? The little butt connectors only? If we can, okay, we can take these off. We can cleanly route this to the other side over the bar. I feel like it's better to go over the bar than underneath this bar here. See this right here? Over the underneath bar. So let's see if we can take that guy off too while we're here doing this. All right. Yeah, these two wires are they're able to reconnect, so we can take these guys off. So let me go and take these guys off. Quick here, set the camera for a second. And I want to reroute the wires. So again, every time I do something, I want to try and improve on it what it was previously there. If I have to straighten out some wires, so be it. But we still have to work on getting this guy in there too, so if we need to, we will take the front panel off. Okay, so let me go ahead and disconnect this one here. There you go. Okay, they're both blue, so I gotta be cautious now. All right. Say light blue, lower bottom, green, top. Okay, so let me go and route this guy here. I can even probably route him the other way, maybe? Or no? Oh no, he's not gonna let me route him the other way. But I can't feed him through here. See, I'd rather just feed him through these guys. And make sure these guys don't get tangled. Alright, so let's go ahead and feed him over the bar. That way we have a clear bar underneath, not having anything kind of exposed or wobbly. Getting into it's got a little bit tricky. Okay, maybe I'll do it one by one. There we go. Pull one guy out. Sorry, you guys can't see it probably. I'm pulling one guy out here. So what I'm doing is try and get that wire fished so I don't have any wires underneath here to go back to there. So I'm going to pull him out, and this other guy needs to follow, or else he's creating an anchor yank. Okay, there we go. Pull them out, both out. Supposedly, there we go. I got his one side here. There we go. Yeah, because I just don't want any wires to cross each other. Okay, so the green one was on top of the blue wire because they're both blue wires. And then the light blue one was on the bottom. So I'm going to go and fit these guys back in now. So we're good. See, I just didn't want to go underneath this bar. Again, unfortunately, this wire here, he doesn't really have that much slack. I mean, we could unhook him and we can bring him not over this, and that will probably free up some slack. If we do that, let's see how we're going to curve it around. So we have to actually feed him in there again. So he's going to come underneath this guy again. This guy, see, which we can lift up. So we could do that way. So we probably have to, let's go ahead and unlatch these guys. So we got this guy ready. And now we need to get this guy back underneath there and sort of back tool. See, I want to tug and make sure I tug the right one. I think this is his wire here. There's his body there. Okay, so I need to get him out from the hook. I call it a hook. Out from this hook here. There we go. Wow, that's a long hook. Okay, there we go. He's out from the hook. Now what I want to do is, in order to free some more slack from him, well, I have to get him all the way out. And then what I'm going to do is pull him from underneath here. So it frees up about another inch. Another inch, or we could bring him up here from underneath. I just don't want any wires underneath this bar, really. And I do want to put him in a hook too, but at the same time I can't have. Okay, so I got these guys back on here and they're hooked on with the little dot they're showing. You want to face the scoop area, making sure it's flush flat onto the connector there. So we got that all straight there. You can see how it's laid on there. See, there's a little side of the connector where it's more flatter. It doesn't have the little over, and then it needs to lay flat, so this little thing that protrudes in will go poke into the center of that circle, and that what causes the connection to be secure. It won't get tugged easily with vibration, or even just trying to pull it out. You have to give it a little bit more tugged. Okay, so that's done with that one. So again, we also got this guy out of the loop here. We can bring him in straight, and we can actually put him directly in like this if we wanted to. However, I just don't like any wires coming underneath this, underneath this bar. I'd rather have it over or away. So let me go and try to lift this guy back up, and we're going to try to feed the wire in there, because that's how we like it. Alright, so let me see if I can drag him. I'm going to have to use one of his little, maybe I can force the butt connectors in there first, or however. Just don't want to put too much pressure on the end, so there we go. There we go. Drag his feet across here. Okay, I got his one in here. See if I get the rest of them in there. Yeah, I can do it. There you go. He's coming back here now. All right. Now, it's up to us if we have enough slack yet to be able to go back and hook him over. I mean, we hook him over, we'll have the slack, but I don't know, we might have the same situation again or not. Because last time he was going a little bit further distance. This one's a little bit shorter distance. You can see here, he's coming out quite a ways for us, right? So if we hook him, we're going to take him back another inch inward like this, and then he comes in this way again. So let's see what we have to work with. We might need to use all that we can from him and then put him back in there. So okay, you can see here from the other side where he was hooked on that little metal rail right there. So that drew him back a little bit, like another, you could say almost another 3 inches really, and that's the slack that we actually need to bring him over here. So we're gonna find out, but let's go ahead and hook this guy back into his little rubber boot area. I believe this is something, I know the other one, the round one, is our headlight. I'm not sure what they call it again. Our headlight, I don't know. Can't think of it right now. Or headlight solenoid or something like that. It's like a little round thing, and it helps the light flicker. Okay. So that guy's back in here. You can see here when I put him back in here, I have to move the wires back anyway a little bit too. Or I can try to bring it even further down here. I could after maybe we put him in, so let me do that. Be harder because once he gets blocked, he's blocked. But yeah, let's see if we can do that. Okay, so I got him back here around. So, and let me charge my anchor battery here. The USB fell off of it. Yeah, when you're moving a lot of loose ends. Yeah, it's just a USB to a micro USB, or you can use whatever USB adapter. It's just a power bank, so whatever adapter is available for you. All right, so let me go ahead and put this guy in position. And that way I can get this guy back on there. Well, let me just do this real quick. It's gonna drop freely. Hopefully get the resolution going on. Okay, I'm just gonna lift the cover back off. Put back on. So it's coming back on. I think I have enough slack here to carry him over. Yep, I do. So here we go. You guys can see it with me. Now I have enough slack here to carry him over and do what I need to do. And maybe I can, once we mount him on, I could probably, I don't know, it's going to be sealed on this side. So more than likely, I might not be able to reach anymore and do anything yet. So let's see what I could do after this. Okay, so let's go ahead. Those guys are connected back. Good. We don't want them to have any problems. So they're connected back underneath the bar. Just like to keep this bar clean and clear of any wires going underneath it. You know, it's bad enough I want wires to stay on top. Then I have wires go underneath it too. So trying to keep the, you know, very nice and neatly organized. Okay, so let's hook this guy up. We already know that the red is behind the green lead. So let's go ahead. The red wire for our harness, for our actual harness, not the adapter harness, is black. That's our red positive wire. And you can see here it has the same kind of shovel connector. So you want to make sure you lay the flat one, not the Twinkie side. Like this, I call them the Twinkie. Two little aluminum Twinkie right here. You want to make sure you keep the Twinkie facing up from the flat side. So here we go. So that way when it locks, you'll hear it click. That means you have a good connection lock to the tip. Okay, or you can tug it. Sometimes it might not click because, you know, all the soundproof. Okay, so that's not letting me tug back out, which is a good thing. Do the same thing with the green one. Kind of follow it very carefully. You want to face it. You can see here there's a shovel side. So you want to face the Twinkie probably inside like this. I'm sorry. You probably want to face the Twinkie inside like this. That way it stays locked in there. So it's twisting our wires a little bit. That's good that we got this guy clamped in pretty damn good. So we don't have to worry about our reconnection here. Okay. Let's back this guy up. Now I'm going this way because it's the only way to get that flat side. Okay. I'm going to hear it click first before I let go. Okay, but it didn't click, but it's not letting go either. So these two are solidly into that little adapter here. It's going to give our cigarette chargers power. So we got the green. Now this gun is pretty simple. Let's go and get the black one in first because he's behind the red one. So let's go ahead and do that. Be careful, try not to twist our wires. The same way, same concept. Since these guys are both flat, you can probably choose any direction that's best for you. So we'll go in facing the same direction so we don't have to twist our wires so much. So here we go. You guys can see it here. Putting the black wire. I'm going to go shoot straight up to him. Now I want to see when I tug it in, that little bump here creates a little indent inside the hole where it gives it a lock. That's how it locks. That's how these little connectors lock. Okay, now I'm going to put back his little heat protector there, or his little shield. It's looking pretty clean, and we'll find out if everything else here works before we actually permanently bolt it on. We might want to just even install our battery ahead of time just to make sure we power it. Okay, it also has dielectric grease in there already. See a little bead of it. You can put some in there. Fortunately, that was my last little small bottle. I only had the big one, so I don't have the little cone shape to funnel it in nicely like this cleanly, you know, instead of getting it everywhere. So that was it. Okay, let's do the same thing with this one, facing the same direction. Try to keep things consistent. I believe his back was facing us, so we'll keep his back facing us like this. So his back was facing the front. So we'll keep his back facing the front. Slide him up there. Oh, see, it's not going in. See, it's sliding out. That's not what you want. So if he's not, see this guy, he locks in. So if this guy's not locking in, then you might want to have to turn him a little bit. So we'll turn him this way and see what happens. Try to keep it consistent, but if you can't, you can't. Okay, there you go. See, it locks in. So there it goes. So both opposite side facing against each other that lock in, we'll lock it in. So there it goes. Nice clean connection. It's not pulling out. You don't want to make sure it's not tugging out easily, because if you don't make sure it's secured and you go down the road and it vibrates, eventually that will come loose. And now you got to take your whole panel off just to get that butt connector back on. Not butt connector, but that connector back on. So it's definitely not worth it. give your connection a good tug to make sure there's nothing else be coming off. Then re-jam it in there just for double check security. But yeah, it looks good. That's how it's gonna lay on like this right here. So that's it. Kind of happy. These wires are super thick, but that's okay because they're nicely secure fitted in there now. And then I guess since we got this on there, let's see if we can actually start rerouting the wires neatly now before we actually solidly put the panels cover on here. So let's do that. Let me go ahead and get this anchor here. I've been fiddling around with it. I apologize. I need to really get it done. All right, let me put this on here. See, that's what happens when you try to do things halfway and you take shortcuts. They become twice the work because you gotta go back and reach for it again. So I'm gonna put it in here. I'm gonna tie the strap down so it doesn't come back from the. I have two hands to do this because it's tricky to do one. There you go. Now it's not gonna slip off the mesh cover that it has. And then the mesh cover, I'm gonna hook it onto the tripod. So let me hook it onto the tripod like that, and then I put my tripod on this one, and then I'm gonna remove the camera. And then the camera's gonna vibrate like crazy. I apologize. Okay, there we go. All right, you're coming with me. All right, let's go to the other side and see what we can do as far as fixing him. Or getting the wires. I mean, the wires are okay as it is now, but we always want to make sure we're doing better. So let's do that. Okay, this is the final step. We're gonna probably put our battery just temporarily, just kind of on there to see if our thing here works. If this works, that means getting power to this one as well, so we don't have to worry too much. Okay, so here we go. So we can square this away now since these guys are latched on the other side. So we can lift up a little bit, try to get our feel. This is the most lift that we could probably do before we can get in there. So there we go. I can lift up a little bit more like this, maybe even turn it this way. How about that? I can turn it this way so this side is the most gap. Okay, so I got this side here. Okay, so I'm gonna reach over and straighten out the wires whatever I can. Okay, let me hold it like this here. I can use this to hold and then hold the camera as well. Okay, so we were gonna plan to actually tie strap this whole bushel, and I still want to do that. But let me hook what else needs to be hooked here. I want to hook it on. Looks like it's gonna help us stabilize. Now this one right here, yeah, it doesn't look like I'll have slack because if I pull it right now, it's already pulling that cover forward. So more than likely, it's gonna have to be in that position there to work. So we'll leave that alone. We'll go ahead and finish. Can we tie strap this or? Yeah, we can. Okay, so we'll tie strap this guy right here. I mean, we could probably, yeah, I'll tie strap here. I don't want to tie strap. Sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and tie strap this guy right here. So all this, but I'm not gonna tie strap with this guy compressed like this. I don't want to bend his wires. So we'll just tie strap like this right here. So all this bushels of wires will have one big tie strap right here for it. So we had to free the other one up again, was to be able to get those guys in there, heat shrink. So let me go ahead and tie strap this guy right here. And we'll go with black so it blends in. We're not trying to make it not blend in. Okay, stay up. I just need to try and get a good place to mount this guy. So you guys can see, we're gonna go ahead and start tie strapping. I might have to put his leg up here. Bend his leg up a little bit. Alright. Create a little hook, I guess. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get that guy out of the way and tie strap just this part. See what's best I can pull. Make sure I get everything. I don't need this guy to come with me. Okay, so this is it. This is all we're tie strapping there. Let me get my other hands in there. It's harder to do with just one hand, and they're like a snake. Get close. enough, I can start setting these guys up here. There we go. This guy, the way so you can see it. All right. Perfect. There we go. It's got hooked on the most part, most of the wires there, and it's really secured. So we got most of the wires back in there. Let's do his thing. Okay, so now it's time to cut it. So we get something to cut it. That's a tie snap we broke earlier, so I'm glad we're able. I wish I had a better cutter tool. So this guy, again, he's the one that did this wrong last time when we tried to cut the first one. But let's see if he can redeem himself, huh? So try to get him all the way too close to the edge as possible. I just hate a little excess of slack. There we go. Nice. Alright, so that one's good. Let me see if I could twist it off the way. Alright, so that's good now. It's not going to hurt anything now. Okay, so we got that guy there. So I guess we're ready. This is it. So it's nicely clean tie strap. We don't have anything underneath this no more. It's just that unfortunately we have to bring this one guy over so he can actually reach his ends there. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this guy, this plate officially mounted on here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get him corrected perfectly onto his mount. Oh, we got to put back his one missing, just I think one drop only, so got plenty of them in here. I'll find it. I'm sure it's falling on here. It's not going to go anywhere. So I got to put one little of these guys back that dropped from the side here. There we go. Snap. All right. So we got that guy. We got that guy snapped back in there. This was the only one that fell. And now I'm ready to go ahead and realign him. There we go. So let's go ahead. Oh, look at that. You need all the slack you can get, really. All right. Interesting. This goes up a little bit. I'm not sure how it's gonna be for a while now. So, or maybe I have to actually maybe mount this guy first. Give him a little bit more of a secure hold in this area. Oh, well, nothing gonna happen unless I get the ignition actually out of there or a line. See that? The ignition is not even poking through yet. So that's probably what's causing it to protrude. Careful, I don't want to hit these little tippets here because when they fall again, and this guy's already halfway in there, it's gonna be more work to. Okay, so let me go and get the ignition. He needs to come. Now I'm not see what's causing it. Maybe these wires are. That's what I was afraid of. These little bushels underneath. But they're not that. They're not the one that's doing that much tightening, are they? Or is something else blocking it? I'm trying to go forward. I'm not. Oh. A lot of moving parts. That's probably why I have to really inspect to see what's really holding it. Or oh, this guy right here, he's probably one like there where the ignition is. See that little tube behind there? Might be that's the one. Gotta see. Well, actually, that one doesn't really have. Oh, it does have a little play in there. And no, it doesn't have much play. You have to actually fit it straight into, or else it won't come in. Okay, there you go. I'm kind of guiding it with my finger, sort of, you could say. There you go. See that? Somewhat coming in. I have to lift here, maybe. It's gonna be a little bit interlock issue. See, it's coming back off. Figure out a good way to angle this. I'm not even sure if this may be supposed to be mounted first, but I don't think so. It can't be mounted. Well, it could be. It could be mounted. And then this guy might be blocking it, so I'm gonna have to fiddle around with this for a second, kind of get a good idea where we're at. Let's see if I can get this stabilized. So we got this side as well. Let me get the camera here. Kind of loosey-goosey, I know. All right, let's see. So this guy right here, we need to fit him into it. Now this wire here, I guess I was preparing, well, it doesn't really matter, we can get that on the surface. So we just gotta get this guy in the right hook. So I'm lifting, pushing forward, feeling where the ignition is. Kind of making sure I pop these guys out. Ignition needs to snap in there. Feel like it's not going in there, ignition. This one doesn't look too bad. Almost there for this guy. Oh, I do need to push these guys in though. Let me drop this for a second. You remember these guys right here? See that? They're protruding out, these little pin clips. They need to be actually tucked in more. So either I have to replace them with some better ones that actually goes in, because I need to actually get them to almost scoop in. I do want the big hole to face front, but I need to scoop them in, or else they're not going to fully go in for me. They're going to give me some trouble. There we go. This guy's going in. See that? We got to get him in like that. Same thing with this one. I need to push it all the way in more. There we go. There we go. Little things like that will give you trouble if you don't push it all the way in. There we go. That one's done. That one's done. This one's not going to go in anymore. That's the way it is. So these two are flush. They're ready to receive. And these guys they've been pushed in already, I believe. Yeah, they're pushed in already. Yep. This one's semi-pushed in. Yeah, they're not going anymore anyway. Okay, so that one's ready almost. So it's just a matter of fiddling around, trying to line this guy. See this right here? There's a little bump there. It has to actually, there's a little bump inside there too on the other side of the harness. Not sure if I can pull it now to show you, but see there? Sort of. The housing there. It's gonna have to fit into these grooves. It's gonna have to come in and perfectly get in there. So let's go and lift this guy back up. These things will flex to take shape for itself. So maybe I have to push down on this one while lifting this one up. And then making sure these guys interlock. You know what? I'm thinking back, right? Look. See this screw right here? And this screw right here? There's no way that this one doesn't actually come first, because how would you screw from behind here once everything's hidden, right? So this cover actually does have to come off first. This one needs to be mounted first. Secure the extension one, because there's a screw right here, right? And in order to screw this guy needs to be in position first, and then this comes from the back. So that means we have to actually, if I'm not mistaken, take this one off. We have to actually take these guys off first. So that's what we'll do. We'll take this whole it's only 4 screws. So those, I knew it had to have some purpose there, that screw was there, and we should have actually backed out that screw before we did it. But anyway, it's still okay. We can still do it. So let's go ahead and get that screwed. I believe it takes a little fatter Phillips, or maybe smaller. Let's see. Yeah, because we might have to actually take out. If we take this out, could we actually remove? Oh no, the gauge cluster will come out loose. Yeah, so that's correct. Figuring things out here. Yeah, imagine these were silver screws. They wouldn't really look that great, I don't think. I wish I could just take these and hit it with a black one right now, right? That'd be so cool. Some black enamel on that one. Okay. Here's the last one. Okay, this is off. We'll set it aside where I won't step on it by accident. Knowing me, my luck. Okay, so this guy, see, the only thing holding him back now would be, so we got this as well. But if we take this off, see how this comes in? It comes in interlock. So we can take this off, but we'll have to take this bolt off. So that means it's a little tricky to say. I'm just thinking how we're going to get underneath there to screw that guy on there. Unless we do it really awkwardly. But I think we should take this guy off too, because this will have to latch itself off. Now it latches off, but does it also screw it on? Because if it screws it on too, then we have another challenge. Because if this just... Okay, so there's screws here. So there's screws here. So there is 2 screws here. So let's take these 2 screws off. So that means we have to take this front guy off first. Not sure how much we can really drag him off, because he has everything connected to him, right? Including the lights. There's no way of reaching that guy to be able to screw him on there. But we need to actually take this cover off in order to do that. And then we take this cover off, that means we have to remove all the bulbs and stuff that he's attached to, right? He's attached to 3 bulbs. So that's fine. We'll do what we have to do, because there's no way of getting him on there. It's that one last screw there. That's going to be a toughie. Okay, he needs a break anyway. Got his little nozzle there. It's like, thank you. I've been hanging on here forever without any support. I think this is already off. It just needs to be shaken off. Yeah, this is already off. And this is already off. Okay. So really nothing holding other than these guys. So we'll get our Allen. Let's go and take these guys off. Was it this one? Fine. Let me guess which one this one probably. I believe it might be an H4. I don't think it's H5. H5 looks too big. So far I've been pretty right. And let's see if I got it right again this time. Need a little driver to it. Probably don't even need an extension, but we'll bring one just in case. In fact, it's easier for me to bring one. That way I can show you guys. Okay, we'll put the extension. And these are plastic screws. Ah, it's bigger. I've been wrong. Actually, it's H5, so we've been using most commonly an H5. Yep, H5. All right. There we go. Lucky Lucy. Hear that squeaking noise? Okay, this one's off. I think this might be the only one that's holding it. There we go. I think they're off now. Yeah. See, these are really short. They're not even that long. I'll show you real quick here. Let me hold on to this. So that's it. Less than probably, I say about maybe 3/4 of an inch. Same thing with this guy. Take this guy off. All the pressure's on him now. All right, so let me get this guy squared away. Wish I had the little rubber, the other rubber. It's not giving it to me. Little nose there. Oh, don't come off yet. Alright, so I got these guys off. Now I got to unlatch him. He goes forward or backwards? Oh yeah, he goes forward. The white one's going to go forward. I might not have to remove the bolt, but we'll see. Might not have to loosen. Because he's latched on there. There we go. Guess it's not all the way out yet. These guys won't let go unless I take them all the way out. Which I don't blame them, I guess. Okay, so let me go ahead and get these guys all the way out. See, these guys will not let go unless they're all the way out. Okay, so let me go and get the Phillips. Now, Iron Man didn't have this tough, right? There we go. He's all the way out now. So let's get from the other side too. Get these guys prepared to put back in. Yeah, as soon as we get that panel there. Yeah. Oh. I don't want to put too much weird pressure on it, so I have to hold it, flex it. Sort of. Don't want to chip anything either. There we go. There we go. It's coming. There we go. So we got that off. His clips can stay there. Now we got to push him forward in order to release the black one loosely like this. We'll turn it. We'll turn as we go. How about that? Because we know we need to latch him back on there. It's going to be interesting because we're coming from, I guess, the inside outward. So you can see here twisting it. The only thing that's really holding these guys on is their wire harness. Or actually here, the bottom of this guy. So that's about it. So now he can actually go on there. And then we have to latch him back on. So just gotta make sure we push backward and go forward. Okay, so that's how we'll latch him on. So now we gotta do is mount this guy here. So let's go ahead and mount him. And then we can rearrange the other guy right afterwards. Okay, so we'll have to latch this guy in here. And then he's gonna secure to our gauge. And in the meantime, let's take this on off, because that was the whole purpose of us getting back here to get this guy ready to be screwed on here. Interesting though, huh? How it all works out. See if I can hold you guys in my arm. Yeah, there'll probably be no more reason for us to move this much panel off of it. I think what I did was I took it all completely off so I can see all the inner works of the Chinese Zenin scooter. Not regrettably, but sometimes I wish, like, man, that's a lot of you know, bolts and nuts that had to come back off. Okay, so let's go and get this guy off. Putting his screws here so I won't lose them. I think I might have maybe tilt one over, but we'll find it, no biggie. Okay, let's go and get this other side here. And we're wondering, why would they just put a screw there? I think we kept it there, you know, a year ago, just in case this thing happens, where we screw into it. Surprisingly, they're not like black screws, huh? They're just nice and chrome color. Okay, I have to hold pressure here, so I'll do the same thing when I bolt them back on. I think this is the only set to bolt back on, and then we can put back. Hopefully there's no more interlock. If there is, we gotta find out now, because I don't think so. I think these guys are gonna be screwed and they're gonna interlock their own way somehow. So I think we're safe to say we can put this guy on. I don't want to bet yet, but I'm thinking if this guy's gonna come all the way over here, I know there's a tip here, right? So it might have to get from the inside, which we can go underneath to do that part. That's no problem there. But this one, there was no way of getting in unless we removed this little black panel. I mean, unless we have a special screwdriver, but it'd probably be more work than really just to take these guys off. Okay, so here we go. I wish you'd just take this guy, disappear for a second, huh? We don't need you yet. We'll come back and layer you in here. Alright, so we're gonna go and try to, I guess the thing to do is let's fit this in there first securely. And because we're working with so many loose components, it's probably gonna be a little bit hard just to keep ship shaping. So let's go ahead and get this guy. We'll see what his screws are to get him to flush first onto the mount. Oh. Okay, so both these screws are out now. Now we can go ahead and align this guy up here. I'm gonna try to mount wherever I can for you guys to see. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is try to get this guy right here, ignition. Come on, so I'm gonna have to lift evenly. There we go. A little bit more better to be able to lift these two together like this. Okay, now I need to be able to get this guy to protrude out a little bit more. It's not protruding yet. This guy's flexible, which is cool. There we go. Now it's protruding out. You guys see him now? There we go. Now it's coming together in full swing. And hopefully none of these plastic screws are off, because if they're off, we have another dilemma on our hand. So I might even want to actually screw these guys on there too now. So let's see. That way they don't fall off with all the jittery. And then I can support it. Oh shoot, look at that. They're always a little catch-22. We might even have to take this guy back off because we can't get to this screw unless we can turn it. Let's see. See, look, everywhere we turn, this guy gets blocked. And they always do something like that to us, right? That's so far. We'll have to remove this guy's, take his panel off. So, I think we should put this plastic. I actually always want to see where the plastic would hold. So this guy needs to come off as well. So now that I got this here, we might be able to, I guess we can concentrate on putting the center bolt. Because we need to probably get this guy aligned to where it needs to be. There you go. I think there's one big center bolt here that ties them all together. And I think it's right there. So that way he doesn't move. And I believe that's the center bolt we took off. Just to get an idea. Now see, this guy's want to slide off. So we gotta get this guy in the perfect alignment first. So we gotta put the center bolt on him. Or else we're gonna have a bunch of loose components going their direction. So let's go ahead and this guy is protruding out. We get the center bolt on him. Keep him in his perfect alignment. Even though the bar doesn't seem like it's aligned straight here, huh? But I think there's still more to turn though. There's probably a lot more to turn still. Still has to flex. So let's go and get that center bolt here, whichever that may be. That doesn't seem like a really, you can see it from this end right here. You can see that center bolt, the light's coming through. He's right there. I'll cover the light. You'll see it. See, I cover the light on the light. So that center bolt there needs to match up with that. And I don't think he's that much thread. It might even be this guy here, but that's just too much thread for that small area, so it has to be a shorter. But I know it's big. Back here we can still, it's not really locking in anything yet other than the ignition, so let me pull it out. Okay, so let me go and find the right size that will go in him again. We took him out, and I remember he was one of these guys, but this is just too much thread. We don't really need that much thread. It's probably one of these guys here. Got a bigger flange on him. See, it's probably one of these guys. Probably even this guy here. Or even this guy. This one's smaller. I think I would probably rely on this guy more. So we could probably put this guy one in there. Looks like he'll grip him. And let's see if we can actually even put a nicer washer for him. Someone more of a penny washer that covers more of the plastic. So let's go and find a good penny washer. I call it a fender washer because it'll help support more of the little area of plastic that we have to work with. But we have to find enough one with a bigger hole. So this is too small of a hole. Even though they're a good sized penny washer, but they're just too small of a hole. This might work, but it might be too big to really go in. Yeah, it won't even go in. We want it to go in, but we just don't want it to, let's see, might have to stick with one of these guys again. This might work really nicely, we'll see. Oh, look at that. That will work perfectly. But I'm not sure this thread is going to be big enough for this guy to go in. Look at that, see? One after another. Yeah, so he's actually he's kind of tight in there. He might not be the perfect size for him. It's too tight. He might actually create a bigger, because it looks like it's going slanted in. And this guy might actually rip the plastic from his side. So something like this, but a little bit smaller. I think this is the same, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if it doesn't fit in this one, it's probably the same. Yep, it's the same. So let's see if we can find one. I mean, just these guys again. Yeah, these guys might work. What's wrong with these guys? They have a big hole too. And besides, this has a flange already too with it, right? See, like that? It's going to glide a little bit, but but just want to make sure it doesn't dig in the plastic too much. I mean, we want it to be able to flush through, but I don't want to see that. I feel like it's going to dig in the plastic. The more I actually dried this in, the more it's going to see. The washer that came on there was actually half this size. So even though we just want something slightly smaller than this. I know we're getting picky here, but we have to. Okay, let's look at this guy. It's not slightly smaller, but he opens a little bit more diameter. This might be our only option here. We'll put the flat side facing it. Alright, let's check this one out. Yeah, this will work. Preferably I just want to have a little bit more space to it, but the other one's too big of space. Might do some more damage. This one gives a little bit more new coverage. So we'll use that one. Let's get a socket for it. It might be a, I don't think it's 11 millimeter. It might be a 12 actually. Oh shit, I'm always wrong. I don't think it's a 10. Maybe even a 10 will work on this guy. Yeah, it might be even a 10. Alright. Let's go with 10. So we got 10 here. Let's see if the socket fits first. Yep. 10 millimeter, man. I'll be damned. Definitely not smaller than that. Okay, so we got 10 millimeter. Let's go ahead and kind of get this aligned a little bit. That means we have to shut this guy back in here like this. Get him to come back out. Our ignition. Alright, there we go. The ignition's out. Now let's see this guy's alignment. I see him.